talk to you guys about getting the most from this monster mega site. As John mentioned, YouTube has become an enormous site on the web, a very influential site. It's a great way to get visibility. It's a great way to become a YouTube celebrity, I guess. It's also really a great way to share information and to promote and market your business. So you guys feel free to stop me at any point with questions or just to chime in. Otherwise, I'll kind of be off and running, and I'll just kind of go through this. Does that sound okay?
Yeah, we'll jump in if we hear anything from the audience or we have a question. I certainly
Awesome.
probably will jump in.
Excellent. Well, I call YouTube sort of a must-have resource, so I'm going to talk a little bit this evening about setting up a YouTube channel, what it is, why you should have one. I'll show you a few ways to customize and brand your channel. I'll talk about uploading videos because some folks, you can't really have a YouTube presence without uploading videos. And I'll also talk a little bit about YouTube optimization, what that means, how to do it. I know some of this stuff sounds techy, but the truth is it really isn't all that techy, although YouTube does like to keep us guessing. When it comes right down to it, it's, there's really only a few things you need to know about YouTube to use it and to maximize its features. So I wanted to throw out a few kind of impressive statistics for you then, just to kind of underline the fact that YouTube has really become a force to be reckoned with. They've got 1 billion unique users every month. 6 billion hours of video are watched each month on YouTube. I think of that as, some of that's probably wasted time, but hopefully some of it's not wasted. But that's an hour for every person in the world. 100 hours of video are uploaded to YouTube every minute, and the majority of the traffic from YouTube actually comes from outside of the US. So the other thing that's interesting about YouTube, because I came from the TV industry and we all talked about ratings, and I worked at a cable network, E! Entertainment Television, and we always talked about this really important demographic of adults 18 to 34. Well, now YouTube reaches more U.S. adults ages 18 to 34 than any cable network. So it's an amazing resource. It's still amazing to me that it's free and you can put videos up there and really promote yourself to the world. So I wanted to kind of give you the lay of the land, if that's okay, because a lot of folks when they go to YouTube, they're like, oh my God, there's too many things to look at. Where do I go first? And it is a bit busy, but on the YouTube channel, whenever you go into YouTube and you open a YouTube account, you'll always find the upload button on the upper right, so you can click that and upload videos. You can customize the look of your channel by adding your own graphic or artwork. It's very easy to do that. You can add, whatever your brand may be or your logo, you can add that to your YouTube channel. Everything in the kind of Google world is interconnected. So your YouTube account connects to your Google Plus account and to Gmail, and it's all pretty well integrated. The other thing that's interesting about YouTube is now when you go to somebody's channel, they give you the opportunity to do a trailer, or basically a welcome video on YouTube. So when somebody comes to my channel who hasn't subscribed, they can see a video that I select and that I place there that it sort of acts as a welcome video. So this is a great opportunity and a great space to use to basically welcome people coming to your YouTube channel for the first time. And once they have subscribed to your channel, at that point they will see another video. They won't see the welcome video, so they won't see the same video every time. Once they subscribe, they'll see another video.
Okay.
You can also organize your videos via playlists, and this is good as you start to get a lot of videos on YouTube. You might want to have a playlist of tips and a playlist of your webinars. Whatever you do in business, you can curate that content and make it easier for your viewers to find what they're looking for by putting your videos into playlists.
Lou, is there a way to make the trailer video? It comes up automatically, right? For those who haven't subscribed yet, is that correct?
Yes.
So is that what's recommended, or do you recommend that they have to click on it? Is there a way to do that?
Oh no, it doesn't autoplay.
Oh, it doesn't.
They still have to click it. which is good because if you're at the office or something, you don't want it to just kind of start blaring. But that's the video. You select the video that you want to use as your trailer or your welcome video.
Okay.
And then once someone has subscribed to your channel, if they decide to subscribe, then they'll get when they come back, they'll say what to watch next, and it would probably be the default is like basically your most recent video.
Mm-hmm.
So YouTube is always changing, but fortunately the upload doesn't seem to change very often. So when you go to upload a video, there are actually several ways to get a video on YouTube. You can drag a video file from your desktop, or you can select a file to upload from your computer. You can actually record directly from your webcam to YouTube. You can create a photo montage. You can launch a Hangout from YouTube. So there are a bunch of ways to actually get videos on YouTube. And they've also got a video editor. A lot of folks miss this, but you can edit your videos right on YouTube using YouTube's video editor that's found on that upload page. And that's good if you want to, maybe chop the beginning and the end off of your video, or just add a few effects and things like that.
And so the YouTube editor, has some pretty basic functionality, and it's free, right?
Yeah, it's free, and it's platform neutral, obviously, since it's online. But you can clip videos, or you could stitch videos together. If maybe you've got 3 or 4 videos that you want to put together. You can add music in the background. You can add some graphics. So there's a fair amount of effects that you can add to your video right from the YouTube editor, which is really a good way to start, because then you don't have to learn any new software. You don't have to buy iMovie or anything like that.
Okay.
So as we go a little further into YouTube, you'll find what's called your video manager, and this is sort of where all your videos live and where you can edit them or take a quick look at them. So all of my videos, in this case, I've got all my videos uploaded here, and I can go to the edit button to edit an individual video. And by edit here, I mean change the title or the keywords or things like that. On the right-hand side, you can see take a quick look at your stats and see how many views you've got and things like that. So that's just a good place. The Video Manager, you're going to find all kinds of things there. Most of which, honestly, you don't really have to worry about. But it's just a good place where you can kind of see, okay, let me see what I've got up there and how these videos are performing. Or if I need to get to one and maybe add it to a playlist, you can check off a bunch of videos and then just add it to a playlist. So there's a lot of mixing and matching that you can do from there. And this is really probably the more important part and the key part here, because when you upload a video to YouTube, you have the opportunity to give it a title, a description, and tags, which are keywords. So whenever you upload a video to YouTube, you're going to add a title, a description, and tags. And you want that title. This is really a bad example because this was a Google Hangout, and this is what a Google Hangout looks like when it uploads to YouTube by default. So because this was not a public video, I didn't really bother to spiffy up the title or whatever, but generally speaking, you want your title to be descriptive and you want it to include keywords. So had this been a public video, I probably would have had, Lose Labs is a weekly webinar that I do, so I probably would have said, Lose Labs features special SEO guest Patty D'Alessio, or something that's just going to have, SEO in the title and other keywords that I want to rank for. Again, you've got a description here, and I'll show you more about that in a moment, but you have a lot of room and a lot of leeway in your description. And then you have tags, which again are the keywords. So whatever keywords you're using, in my case it might be video marketing and online video, you want to make sure that you add those to the description.
So Lou, on the keywords, by the way, for everybody, some people who might not know what those are, that's the terms you type into the search bar either on YouTube or Google to a certain phrase or a group of words or a word that you would use to identify a video and stuff, and Google and YouTube index your content based on those words, correct?
Exactly. So because YouTube is now the second biggest search engine behind Google, a lot of people look for answers or solutions to their problems on YouTube. So just like I go to Google, I'll go to YouTube and go into the search bar, and maybe if I put how to get better search engine optimization or how to get better SEO, if I had titled this correctly, there's a chance that this video would show up under SEO or whatever those keywords may be. So that's why they're important. So.
Do you use the keyword planner for your keyword research, or do you use like a paid service?
No, I don't use a paid service, but unfortunately, Google took away they used to have a really handy keyword tool, and now, of course, they want you to advertise and they want you to pay for some of those privileges. But there are a lot of different keyword tools that you can use to try and figure out, what keywords you should be looking for. I always suggest that if somebody's got a business where they're the CEO or they're basically the main person in their business, that they use their name as well. Mm-hmm. So I may do, I use Lou Bortone as one of my keywords, because if somebody doesn't know about a particular video, they may just search under my name, and hopefully many of my videos will come up.
Right. I think doesn't Google still have the keyword planner? Because I use that.
Oh, the keyword planner. Yep, just not the original keyword tool that they used to use.
I like the old one better.
Yeah, the old one was cool because they really gave you a lot of information, and now some of that information you have to be an advertiser to access.
I see.
But still, I mean, keywords are very important because they just help people find your video. And if your video is solving a problem or answering a question that somebody in your niche has, then there's a chance they'll find it. The other thing you can do here on this upload page is you can select a thumbnail. And typically, YouTube gives you 3 thumbnails to choose from, and they are invariably bad. They're when you're yawning, or your eyes are closed, or you're drooling, or if you're on camera. So now you can actually click this custom thumbnail and choose your own image to use as the thumbnail, which is great because I'll show you in a moment how some folks do that. But again, a lot of people may choose a video based on the thumbnail of the image that they see. So the thumbnails become a lot more important, and now you can upload a custom thumbnail so that you're not stuck with the one of the 3 that they give you.
Any tips on what to put up? Because I know for a while I was putting up kind of our new wave kind of blue banner, but I was talking with some people and it's like, well, it doesn't really, it kind of hides everything from the video. So I mean, is there a quick tip you could give on how to create one of those? Like that, you want it to be you, or do you want it to be you doing something, or
if you're on camera, like in this case where Patty was the expert and she's on camera, what I would typically do in something like this is I would create a custom thumbnail that had an overlay that said SEO tips.
Okay.
So somebody looking at it quickly will see the text that says SEO tips, and they'll know, okay, great, that's I'm looking for SEO tips, and I'll show you how the Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon does that really effectively in a moment. Last thing on this particular slide is that you have the option of making your videos public, private, or unlisted. Again, this one's unlisted because in this case I was just uploading the video from Google Hangouts, and it was for a membership club, so it wasn't public to the general public. But typically, you're going to make your videos public if you want people to see them, obviously. So a little bit more on uploading your videos. Again, when you go to edit that, you can always go back and edit your title if you don't like it. It's not going to mess up your views or anything. So this one was for a webinar that I did a while back. And the title of the webinar was Rapid List Building 2.0 Webinar with Lou Bortone and Clay Collins. So it's a long, fairly descriptive title. And the description here, I didn't go too far into it, but it's always good to start your description with the web page that you want to drive traffic back to. So in this case, it was the webinar registration page, and it starts with the HTTP. So that will come up as a live link back to whatever site you set here. So it's always important to have that in your description. If you are using your keywords correctly and consistently, chances are a lot of the related videos that show up are going to be your other videos. So you can see in this case, several of the videos on the sidebar are my other videos because I'm always using the same keywords.
So with keywords, do you want to use the same ones, or is it's going to be topic-based or guest-based, right? Based on a name or a topic usually?
Yep, but I'm always going to put my name. I'm always going to put my typical keywords like video marketing in my case. So if you're whatever keywords you're using, you always want to have those same few keywords regardless of what the topic is. The other thing that I do that helps to link it all together I learned this from another internet marketer, Tom Antion, was I use a nonsense word in my keywords. In my case, I usually use my name backwards. And because it's a nonsense keyword that most other people wouldn't use, like a backwards word, YouTube finds them and links them together.
Yeah, yeah, I've heard of that, definitely.
Mm-hmm. And again, feel free to stop me at any point. Otherwise, I'll just kind of continue with the YouTube tour. Once your video is uploaded, you can share your video, and if you click the share this video under the video, then a whole bunch of icons pop up. And you can see Facebook, Twitter, Google+. It's really easy to share your video from Facebook to other social networks. And I always recommend that people do that because you're leveraging your time, you're getting your video on more platforms, and it's very easy to do. You know, with one click you can share. You do have to, at first you have to connect your accounts so that when you share to Facebook it'll know where to go, but once you've done that, it's very easy to share. You'll always have your link here that you can also share in email. You've got what they give you is an embed code if you want to put that video on your website or blog as well, which is always a good idea. And you see even in the comments, the links, when you use the HTTP and the full URL, these become links as well.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, go ahead, I'm sorry.
Luke, can you talk a little more on keywords? What about the title? Like I've been taught that you put it's the first word in the title, first words in the title, and then twice in the title actually, and then in the first, I think, 100 words or so in the description. Do you have any rules for where to place your keywords?
Again, you know, always, like you said, in the title. If you can have it twice, I mean, I don't think it's you know, I don't try and game the system and put, you know, stuff it with keywords, but I could do, you know, I would do something that said video marketing tips, how to add video to to your blog or something like that. So I've got the word video in there a couple of times. A lot of my videos are private so that I don't even worry about it, but when your video's public, that's when you want to you know, really get as many keywords in there as possible. And again, I'll show you how the Tonight Show does that in a moment. Couple quick things before we leave this slide. You can and should embed your video into your website or blog. So basically you're using YouTube to host your video for free, but you're also adding that video to your website or blog by taking this embed code that they give you and putting that in your blog so that the video will appear there as well. You can also adjust the size based on your website. You know, you may want it to be a little bigger, a little smaller. And I usually leave all these other things blank, show suggested videos. It's like I don't want to show my competitors' videos, so I just leave all that stuff blank. Popping over to my favorite example here on the Tonight Show. These guys, I know they probably have a whole department that does it, but the folks at Jimmy Fallon and the Tonight Show really do YouTube right. Now they've only done about 120 shows, and they've already got like 700 or 800 videos uploaded to YouTube. And as you can see in this particular clip, they got almost 3 million views in less than 24 hours, which rivals the amount of people that actually watch the show. So they're using YouTube really effectively, and they do a lot of things right. Now again, it doesn't say Tonight Show in the title here, but it says, if somebody said, hey, did you see that lip sync battle with Emma Stone last night on Jimmy Fallon? Somebody's going to search lip sync battle with Emma Stone, and that's what's going to come up. So their titles are you know, pretty descriptive on exactly what's happening at that moment in the clip. Robinson Cano has comfort food in Seattle. Jamie Foxx gives a high-powered dance lesson. You know, it pretty much says exactly what it is. And then they go a step further and they take their thumbnail. I know it's difficult to see because it's so small, but you can see where they put on their logo and Jamie Foxx, their logo and Steven Tyler. You know, whoever was in that particular clip, they're creating a custom thumbnail so that you know, wherever that thumbnail appears, somebody can see at a glance, oh yeah, there's the Jamie Foxx clip. So
as far as creating thumbnails, I guess if you didn't have a tool to do that, you could just play the video and then use a free service like Jing or something to capture the video at that moment and then upload that as a thumbnail. Would that?
Exactly. Yep. So you can take a free tool like Jing and pick the, you know, capture the actual image and frame that you want. and put some text over it. You can use a tool like Canva.com, which
Right.
is a free video, kind of photo editing tool. So the main thing is that you just want to take, find the clip that's representative of that video, and then just put enough text over it so that, again, it's not blocking the whole clip here, but you can tell at a glance, okay, here's that clip with Jamie Foxx, and here's that clip with Robinson Cano.
How long should the videos be on? They want to be relatively short, right, for people to consume.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 2 or 3 minutes is the average. And again, in the Jimmy Fallon example and the Tonight Show, I mean, obviously these clips are much longer, but if you can see here, almost every one of them here is under 5 minutes, and most of them are even shorter than that. So they're breaking down their longer segments into basically sound bites and clips. This one's under 5 minutes, this one's 4:37, 4:20, 4:18. So it seems like they've got kind of almost a mandate to keep it under 5 minutes and somehow break down those clips into smaller clips. So if you have a webinar, or if you've done some kind of teaching video, you might think about breaking that down into smaller bite-sized clips of 3 to 5 minutes.
And you can do that in the YouTube editor, right? You can cut pieces out for
Yeah.
free, right? You don't need Camtasia or ScreenFlow or something like that.
No, you can go into the YouTube editor and say, okay, here's a good place to end this clip right at 4 minutes and 8 seconds, and do the little scissor thing in YouTube, and you're ready to go. The other thing that the Tonight Show does really well is their description. And you can see here, YouTube gives you a lot of space for a description, and the Tonight Show uses a lot of it. So again, what they do and what we all should do is, if you've got some kind of general information or cut and paste kind of info about your company or your business, you can put that in every video. So what the Tonight Show does is they have basically a line or two about what's in that particular clip. So Jimmy and Emma Stone square off in a lip sync battle, and Emma Stone shows she's not afraid of lightning fast lyrics. So that's the video description. The rest of this is all standard cut and paste. It's in every video. Subscribe to the Tonight Show with a live link. Watch the Tonight Show. Follow Jimmy on Facebook. Follow Jimmy on Twitter. Like Jimmy on Facebook. So they've got tons of links in here. And all of this is pretty standard, okay, well, the first couple lines are going to be what's in this video. The rest of it's going to be promoting everything else that they do.
So this is creating backlinks for their other pages. Is that what it does?
Mm-hmm.
And what about creating backlinks for this video? Do you paste the YouTube URL at the bottom? Because I've been taught that.
I don't know that they do that. I haven't seen the Tonight Show do that. And again, you can, but here I think the point is they want to keep people on as many Tonight Show and NBC properties as possible. And again, the other thing here, because they're using keywords and they've got so many videos, every video that shows up on the right-hand column is another Jimmy Fallon video. And they're from different shows and different clips. But it's pretty clear that once you're on the Tonight Show YouTube page, the only place to go is to another Tonight Show video or to another NBC show. So I like to use them as an example, although I'm sure, like I say, they may have an entire department that does this. But really, most of it, creating a custom thumbnail shouldn't take too long. Cutting and pasting in a description doesn't take any time. Really it's a matter of thinking up a good descriptive title that's representative of that video and making sure you do it consistently.
So you don't recommend that people put like keywords, like say go to Google and find out what they auto type for you and copy those keywords and put them in the video description? You don't think that's wise, or does that help your SEO?
Yeah, I think it's probably easy for the Tonight Show, but if you have a lesser known brand, you want to get as many keywords in there as possible. Just give people as many chances to find you as possible. So let me see here. The other thing that's really interesting that I've gotten into a little bit more lately is annotations. And annotations are a thing that you can add to your video that make them interactive. So they're like overlays or thought balloons. So you can add these after the fact. Once your video is created, you can add annotations, which are basically just a way to guide your viewers through the video. and the Tonight Show does this as well. But at any point in the video, you can add an annotation in your video. You can do it add as many annotations as you want. So basically, you go to your video manager and you find the annotations heading here. And annotations can be speech bubbles, notes, titles, spotlights, labels. A lot of these are kind of essentially the same thing. They just look slightly different on here. And all you have to do is you find the point in your video that you want to add that annotation, and you decide what kind of annotation, and you just add it from here, from add annotation. So if I had, I could add a speech bubble here that says, you know, visit my website, or for more information, go here. I think I've got a couple of examples here. It says, oh, here's my annotation. OMG, I look like such a stiff. But here you can add in, you know, I mean, I was just kind of fooling around, but you can add in whatever text you want. You can make the annotation any length that you want for the whole video. And the best thing of all about annotations is that you can link them. So this, OMG, can link, in this case, to my website. You can also link to another video or to a playlist, to a channel, to a Google Plus profile page. So there are a lot of ways to make your video interactive and kind of help your viewer through the video by adding these guides or these annotations along the way.
To get an associated website, you have to, I think, be verified or something like that, right? There's an extra step to do that.
Yes, there is an extra step, and it's gotten easier. I think it used to be, I mean, they used to, you know, require that you had a certain amount of views or a certain amount of videos, and I think they've kind of lowered the bar for that so that it's not that difficult to have an associated website. And basically, you want this to be your main website.
Can you put a clickable image up there? Or is it text only right now?
You could. I mean, it's text only right now, but what you could do is put an image, like an overlay in editing, and then put what kind of annotation? You do like a spotlight over it. Okay. So basically what you're doing is you're putting a picture, then you're putting an annotation over the picture to make the picture seemingly clickable.
Gotcha.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, that makes sense, yeah. You just have to use that in like some of your editing first. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So annotations are sort of a great way, you know, sort of a way to make your videos interactive, drive that traffic back to your website. Here I've got, you know, just I've got it listed as a note, so it's kind of ghosted out here. I could make this bigger or smaller or move it anywhere on the screen, but the point is here, when I link it to my website, I can have, when somebody clicks check this out on the video, they will actually be taken to my website. So it's a great way to get people from your YouTube page back to where you want them on your website. I always like to say that, you know, YouTube is great, but you're basically renting space from them, and it's their real estate, and they control the environment and the experience. Once you drive people back to your website or blog, that's your real estate, and you control the environment or the experience. Make sense?
Yep.
Cool. So yeah, I just did a zoom on this one where you can see, you know, I had it kind of subtle. You can make this much bigger, but the annotation will link back to your site, which is, like I say, a great way to drive some of that traffic that's coming to YouTube and say, hey guys, come over to my site where I, you know, sort of run the show. If you need to know more about annotations, YouTube has a lovely little, a whole 2 or 3 pages of information about them. But I think it's one of the most underutilized tools because it does take a little extra effort and a little extra thought. But if you really want your videos to, you know, make the best viewer experience and sort of help that viewer back to your website, then it's a great way to do it. Another thing, just generally speaking on YouTube, is that I believe all videos should have a call to action, a specific call to action at the end where you're telling your viewer exactly what you want them to do. So you may say, subscribe to my channel at the link above, or visit my website, or buy my whatever. But you really have to tell the viewer what to do, otherwise they're off on some other, you know, rabbit hole, or looking at some other video, or off to the next thing. So you really have to be really specific, and you have to be disciplined about adding a call to action to all of your videos. One other thing about YouTube before you know, we get to questions and stuff like that. there's a lot of a lot of times people get depressed if they upload a video and it only gets 38 views or 146 views, and people think that they need to have a viral video to be successful, and the truth is really you want to just make sure that your video resonates with your target market and that you're giving your people an opportunity to see it. So I like to say that I'd rather have 100 qualified prospects, entrepreneurs and small businesses watch my video than 1,000 teenagers who it just doesn't make any sense to. So think about your target market, think about reaching those folks, and take heart in the fact that 53% of videos from YouTube get fewer than 500 views, and 30% get less than 100 views, and only a third of 1%, 0.33%, get more than 1 million views, and that's usually Lady Gaga and Justin Bieber.
Right.
So don't be disheartened if you're not getting tons and tons of views. If you're getting 1,000 views, you are doing amazing on YouTube.
Yeah, and Lou, I just I was thinking about that too, because I know a number of people, including myself, who put up some videos. Maybe there's little views at first, but views are something that accumulate over some time. So it's not be discouraged that it is just an immediate thing that you're getting the viewers, but to be patient.
Exactly, and you can always go back and I say, breathe new life into old videos by going back and updating a title or adding an annotation or just sort of giving it a new spin. So even though you might say, oh, that video only got 130 views, like, well, you can always promote it more and share it to Facebook and share it to Google, and maybe folks didn't catch it the first time. Sometimes on some of my more evergreen videos, I might post a video 3 months later and somebody says, oh, that was a really cool new video. I'm like, well, it wasn't new, but I guess it was the first time you saw it. So.
Isn't it important to constantly tweak some of your keywords and how it might be presenting? I know I've done that with I used to make videos in the pain relief niche, and I had one video that was doing okay, but once I optimized it for SEO, it was like, now I think it's ranked in the top 2 videos on Google for a pretty good keyword. So it's getting about 4,000 views a month probably now.
That's amazing. That's great.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I guess it matters, right? That you.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So I put up for some reason the image isn't showing up, but I put up my freebie link here, which I can also put in the text. And if you like, I will turn off the screen share, and we can be on screen again. And